Now, I'm really pleased to introduce to you Amanda Dawson, who's Senior Manager of Individual and Family Support Services at Northcott. And as you know, the PDSP program has just been recently introduced, and it's a different program to the one that we had before. And Northcott are the organisation that is delivering this. And we're lucky also to have with us today Kerry Stubbs, who is CEO of Northcott, Nicole Lafferty, who's Program Manager for Northcott for the PDSP, and PDSP, that's right, and also Liz Forsyth, Sector and Business Development Manager for Northcott. So this is great because I know that as a new program, sometimes there are plenty of questions that you have, and this is really your opportunity to have all of those answered. And if there's some that can't be answered, then I know that Amanda will organise to follow up with you. So just to tell you about Amanda, she's the Senior Manager for Individual and Family Support Services at Northcott and has over 14 years' experience in a variety of roles across the disability sector. After completing a Bachelor of Education, Amanda discovered a strong interest and passion for supporting children with a disability and their families through case management and early childhood services. Having also held a role in disability research, Amanda has now settled into management, where she provides a strategic support and informs best practice across early childhood and individual and family support services at Northcott. Amanda remains a strong advocate for promoting inclusion for children with a disability in educational and broader community settings, and is excited to see the positive impact the new preschool disability support program will make. Can you please welcome Amanda?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Firstly, I just wanted to start by acknowledging and paying my respects to the traditional custodians of the land on which this meeting takes place, and also to pay my respect to the elders both past, present, and future. On a personal note, I'm a mother of two, and my son has accessed community preschools, and I have a real strong value in that sector because my local community preschool has played an integral role in supporting me as a mother, a full-time working mother, in making the best decisions for my son, but also just to, be part of life and manage the balance. I'm a resident of the Blue Mountains community, and most of you will know that we experienced some significant bushfires in 2013, and our community was devastated by that, and a lot of the children and families that attend the local community preschool were supported by the community preschool very heavily, and they're an integral part of our community. So on a personal note and a community note, I'll be eternally grateful for their support. But enough about me, and on to the Preschool Disability Support Program. Firstly, I'll talk about Northcott. So for over 85 years, Northcott have been providing a range of support services to children, families and individuals to support their inclusion in society. In this time, Northcott have become a leading provider of support services in the disability sector, spanning across metropolitan and rural and remote regions of New South Wales and the ACT. Such services include therapy, individual and family support, respite and recreation, accommodation, assistive technology and equipment, and early childhood education. As an organisation, we pride ourselves on delivering high-quality support in the early education and care sector. Northcott provides therapy support in early childhood education and care settings, as well as other community-based services, including supported playgroups. We also administer the Inclusion and Professional Support Program in the New England region. This is a program that is funded by the federal government to promote and maintain high-quality, inclusive education and care for all children, including those with ongoing high support needs in eligible childcare and early learning settings. In providing these supports, Northcott is fostering inclusive practices in early childhood education and care services, and is promoting the meaningful participation of children with disabilities in the curriculum, the centre, and in social settings. In October 2014, Northcott commenced management of the Preschool Disability Support Program, or the PDSP. This program replaced the Supporting Children with Additional Needs, or SCAN program, and the preschool component of the Intervention Support Program, or ISP. The primary objective of the PDSP is to improve access to preschool education for children with disability and support equitable outcomes for children with disability in community preschool settings. A core element of this is to establish strong relationships between the preschool disability support officers, which I'll talk more about later, at Northcott, and community preschools to provide mentoring that improves the practice around inclusion of children with disability. The PDSP is funded by New South Wales Department of Education and Communities and is administered by Northcott as the program manager. Northcott has established a PDSP team to oversee all aspects of the program. The team consists of 8 preschool disability support officers, or PDSOs, located in 8 Northcott regions across New South Wales. That includes Parramatta, Newcastle, Ballina, Tamworth, Dubbo, Oak Flats in the Illawarra, Casula in southwestern Sydney, and Wagga Wagga. The PDSOs are the face of the program. They're the first point of call in providing phone-based support. Types of support can include, but are not limited to, preparing and submitting PDSP applications, problem solving around facilitating meaningful participation of a child with disability or additional needs, suggestions on how to use the universal disability loading, coaching around how to initiate conversations about a child's development with their family, providing specific advice about PDSP processes. A special education consultant was also recruited. Her name's Rebecca King. She's responsible for developing and delivering the PDSP annual training program. Her consultancy role is a core component of this team, and she provides special education coaching and mentoring to the PDSP team. The program manager, Nicole Lafferty, provides operational leadership to the PDSP team. Her role is to work with the Department of Education and Communities to structure, design and implement the program. All of our PDSP staff have worked in the frontline of early education and care settings, providing inclusive support to children with disability and additional needs. In addition to the PDSP team, the staff in the program have access to professional advice and consultation from a broad range of disciplines at Northcott. They include occupational therapists, speech pathologists, physiotherapists, social workers, psychologists, and behaviour support practitioners. The components of the PDSP. The PDSP is made up of 4 components that support children with disability and additional needs, and preschool teachers and educators. It includes the universal disability loading, child-focused targeted support, training and professional education for teachers and educators, and a scholarship program to strengthen the capacity of the preschool workforce. So the universal disability loading, or UDL, is a new and innovative feature of the program, which provides preschools with funding to access a wide range of baseline inclusion supports that can be used for all children. All preschools received the first payment of the UDL for 2015 in December last year. This formula-based funding is calculated on the total number of enrolments of children that are eligible for preschool funding model subsidies using the previous year's preschool census. Possible ways to use the UDL include supporting the educational needs of children attending the preschool who may not meet the requirements for child-focused targeted support. You may use it to organise an independent assessment of the preschool to obtain expert advice about how the service could better support children with disability or additional needs. Arrange an information session for staff and parents about a particular disability. Invite specialist disability personnel to provide advice to staff about the preschool's facilities and or the programs, purchase additional educational resources to support children with disability or additional needs, purchase early childhood education resource materials such as journal subscriptions or curriculum to develop at the capacity of the preschool staff, employ additional staff to assist with meeting the individual learning outcomes of the children, provide professional development opportunities such as courses and training for staff related to the educational inclusion of children with disability or additional needs, access specialist advice and support to assist staff to support the specific learning outcomes of a particular child with a disability or additional needs, purchase or hire equipment that is required for a child with disability or additional needs to participate in educational activities, complete minor capital improvements that will make the school more accessible to children with a disability or additional needs. Department of Education and Communities provided preschools with further information about how they could use the universal disability loading via email on the 12th of February, and an article was included in the February edition of their EC Extra. Child-focused targeted support. As the title suggests, child-focused targeted support provides funding to assist community preschools to support individual children with disability or additional needs. There are 3 levels of funding, level 1, 2 and 3, 3 being the highest level of funding. The approved level of funding is based on the child's support needs in relation to the preschool setting they are attending. More specifically, we look at the individual needs of a child to develop an understanding of their impact the disability is having on their ability to access meaningful participation in the context of the preschool that they attend. This funding is not dependent on the child's disability. The information gathered through the application process helps us to determine the best level of funding that appropriately supports the child at the preschool. For example, a child with a complex physical disability combined with a mild intellectual disability may lead you to think that they require a high level of funding, such as level 3. However, the preschool they attend may have excellent physical access facilities and well-trained staff and equipment that adequately meets the needs of the child. In this case, a level 3 application would not be appropriate. Preschools can use the child-focused targeted support funding to improve child-staff ratios, provide specialised programming for small group experiences that target specific skills, purchase or hire specialised equipment, and access a consultant that will enhance educational outcomes. Training and professional education. So over the course of the program, Northcott will be providing a number of training and professional development opportunities for teachers and educators. We are very excited by the new opportunities which will support preschool staff to develop key skills and knowledge needed to support the meaningful participation of children in your preschools. After listening to the needs of the sector, we've identified that behaviour support is a key topic of interest. This year we will be focusing on delivering positive behaviour support workshops that are tailored to the community preschool cohort. It will equip teachers and educators with the skills needed to identify and respond to children that require higher levels of behaviour support. In addition, there will be a module that focuses on information about eligibility for the PDSP, how preschools can apply for the funding, and training on how to prepare an individual learning plan. Our primary aim during the development of the training schedule is to ensure the opportunities are as equally accessible to teachers and educators in regional and remote regions to those living in metropolitan locations. In addition to face-to-face training, alternative methods of delivery will include web-based options. Participants will leave with a number of resources that they can share with their co-workers. In your conversations with us, we encourage you to continue to identify your training needs. This will guide the development and delivery of future training opportunities in subsequent years. The last element is scholarships. One of the most exciting components of the PDSP is the new scholarship program. The government has invested $200,000 in funding to allow community preschool teachers to further their study in early childhood special education. Up to 20 scholarships are available each year. This initiative directly focuses on building the skill set of teachers and enhances the sector's capacity to improve equitable educational outcomes for children with a disability. This year, 14 candidates were successful in receiving a postgraduate scholarship. This is made up of 7 master's degrees, 1 graduate diploma and 6 graduate certificates. We really look forward to hearing about how the candidates are progressing throughout their degree, and we hope to do some stories and let you know about that throughout the year. Applications will open each year around the commencement of Term 4, and we highly encourage you to apply or inform your co-workers about the scholarship program. So the PDSP so far. Since the commencement of managing the PDSP, Northcott has established a PDSP website and portal. This allows preschools to access the PDSP specific information, generate applications for child-focused targeted support, and lodge inquiries through to the PDSP team. In addition, we created a 1-800 number that provides a direct link to preschool disability support officers that provide assistance and guidance with a range of PDSP inquiries in time for the main round funding applications. Applications for child-focused targeted support opened in November last year, and preschools can apply for funding at any time throughout the year. So what to expect? You should expect email bulletins providing information about important events, announcements and general notifications throughout the year. A new PDSP e-newsletter with feature stories on community preschools. A constantly updated website with current information and easily accessible resources. A training calendar which outlines learning and development opportunities for 2015. Continued information and support during the main funding round. Information and support during the scholarship application process. An opportunity to provide feedback and information through an evaluation being conducted in partnership with DEC. As a final note before questions, we would like to thank the sector for working with us and providing valuable feedback during the first phase of the PDSP. We look forward to continuing working with you on the common goal of providing quality educational outcomes for children with disability and additional needs.